Is what I saw recently when it comes to Polkadot, in my opinion, positive news? I'd like to lean towards yes, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I am not telling anyone to do anything, this is purely my perspective. However, did you know that it was recently reported that Polkadot ETF inflows have allegedly returned? In a sense where, if we take a look at 21 shares Polkadot ETF, it was announced not too long ago. And that was pretty awesome, even though it didn't really do much to the charts when it comes to Polkadot. But at the same time, it was reported that, again, the 21 shares Polkadot ETF has actually seen inflows, which returned, basically. So I think it's pretty cool. I mean, the inflow was around 785,000 on April 10th, which, I mean, again, not really that massive in the grand scheme of things, but I still think it's pretty positive nonetheless, especially considering how the sentiment when it comes to this space hasn't been doing the best. Now, people like to say, well, what did this really do though when it comes to Polkadot? Take a look at the charts. Again, clearly, I know that Polkadot as of right now isn't doing the best. It's $1.27 basically, which is very close, by the way, to its historical all-time low. Keep in mind, its all-time low is $1.13. So we're just 14 cents above that actually as of right now, which people like to say, well, if that's going on with the 21 shares Polkadot ETF, again, why isn't it really doing much to the charts when it comes to Polkadot? Well, it's because the overall sentiment when it comes to this space isn't doing the best. Polkadot, being a project that's currently ranked 36th in the world in terms of market cap within this space, it just can't really do those type of massive movements like that if the market sentiment doesn't really change in a massive way. It's just not a microcap, simply put. If we take a look at Polkadot as of right now, the market cap is around 2 billion. I mean, even for whatever reason, like there was like 100 million more in terms of market cap when it comes to Polkadot, it wouldn't even move at 10%. That's the thing. It just simply wouldn't. But it'd be a different case if it's like a microcap. Now, this is where things I think become a little bit more interesting, right? Because people like to say, well, this microcap just randomly did a rally like that. Well, here's again my perspective. Of course, if a microcap has a market cap of, let's say, I don't know, like 500,000 or something like that, of course, even if the market cap randomly became like 5 million or something, again, it was previously 10 times lower than that. It's a different case. 5 million added to the market cap of Polkadot really wouldn't move the needle that much. It would be very negligible. It's not really a needle mover, right? That's the way to take a look at it. Even 100 million in terms of market cap wouldn't even move Polkadot 10%. Even 200 million wouldn't actually move it 10% because the market cap as of right now is slightly above 2 billion, right? So again, 200 million is almost 10% of that, but it wouldn't even move at 10% though. That's just how kind of relatively massive Polkadot is in the grand scheme of things, even despite the pullback. But people like to tell me, well, what happens if Polkadot never sees an altcoin season? Now, this is my response. Polkadot being $1.27 over a year ago, slightly, saw $10.50 almost. Now, if let's say for simplicity's sake, we just assume, okay, Polkadot at that point was $10, which it wasn't, it was actually slightly above that, but let's just assume for simplicity's sake, $10. If let's say we take a look at Polkadot as of right now, being below $2, well below that, being again $1.27, Polkadot is over 7 times lower as of right now than where it was just back in December of 2024. Personally, for me, even if it just goes to half of that, I'm not saying goes back to $10, maybe just half of that, let's just say $5, which, by the way, is not even like something too, I think, far-fetched. We saw that back in May of 2025, but I'm just saying, if it could just go back to that from where it is as of right now, I have like zero things to complain about because I am not looking for something that is going to do the next most fantastic move of all time. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is more so of a project that's a little bit more established, but not too massive and not too small. That's it. Personally, for me, I'm not looking for the next, I guess, most dynamic thing of all time. That's not what I'm looking for. I mean, some of my friends out there do look for the next quote unquote big micro cap or something like that. I'm not looking for that personally. That's just not what I'm into. I'm just not looking for that. Like, I don't need that to be happy. That's the thing. And does anyone think May of 2025 was an altcoin season? No. So I really don't need an altcoin season to be happy. I really don't need Polkadot to be top 5 or something like that. No, I don't need it to be that ever to be happy. That is just my perspective. If I'm needing something like that to be happy, I wouldn't take a look at something like this. I just wouldn't, because it wouldn't at that point fit my criteria. But it actually does, because I don't need an altcoin season to be happy. If things could just go back to where they were, let's say back in May, when it comes to Polkadot, and of course I'm talking about May of 2025, I'm already very happy. If, let's say, things could just return back to where they were in December of 2024, of course I'd be a lot happier, but I don't really need it anyways to be that happy. Again, when it comes to Polkadot, if it could just go back to previous points from where it is as of right now, it already feels like a somewhat hypothetical altcoin season to me. I really do feel like that, even though it wouldn't be, but I'm saying it would feel like that already to me, because I don't need, again, the next most fantastic thing of all time. No, I'm not looking for that. I mean, if I take a look at Polkadot anyways, it's a project that by nature isn't really designed for something that's cool or interesting, like straight off the bat like that. It's designed for more so of an evergreen sort of market. I mean, if we take a look at Polkadot, we all know it's a layer 0. Now, we've heard about layer 1s, layer 2s, layer 3s, and stuff like that, but a layer 0, when it comes to this space, Polkadot is arguably one of the most popular, if not the most popular, maybe, in my opinion. Now, if I take a look at that space right there, Polkadot, for instance, it's focused on interoperability. Its kind of major competitor, I would say its closest competitor, some people would argue, is Cosmos. But Cosmos is not as big as Polkadot. I still think Polkadot, as of right now, is still way more popular than Cosmos. And if I take a look at the space of interoperability, again, the space of basically trying to connect blockchains together, Polkadot is pretty much arguably the most popular within that niche. So if the niche returns back to its former, I guess, presence, Polkadot is like arguably the most popular one. So sometimes it's kind of a little bit hard to forget about something that's pretty much number one within its niche if the niche were to return back to its previous popularity. Now, if I take a look at Polkadot as well, because of that, I just really feel like it's more so of an evergreen sort of market, because interoperability, again, trying to connect blockchains together, like that market right there, it doesn't go in and out based off of the style or the cool factor or whatever's trendy. A lot of projects out there naturally sometimes want to be interoperable. And I'm not saying that every single one is going to want to gravitate towards Polkadot, but I'm saying still Polkadot is arguably one of the most popular, if not the most popular within that niche. So it's just focused on a market that really doesn't go out of style like that. Other projects out there, the niche is focused on a certain style or a certain trend, which is cool if that is the trend or the style at the time being, or if it was at the time that it launched or whatever. But if it's not anymore, what happens? Sometimes we just see the project, fizzle out in a sense where, okay, maybe the token's still around, maybe the team's still around, but they just never really do anything anymore in the grand scheme of things in any significant way. So sometimes those niches are not really evergreen in a sense, right? They're not really standing the test of time. But when it comes to Polkadot, because it's focused on interoperability and because it is a niche that is actually focused on utility within this space, it gives me more so of an evergreen sort of vibe. So I do kind of like that. It's like, for instance, let's say in the case of batteries, right? Like AA batteries, AAA batteries, like that. Like, they were popular back then. They're still pretty popular as of right now, and I'm pretty sure people are still going to use it maybe moving forward in the future. Maybe some would arguably say, oh, who knows about the use case of it moving forward, but it just feels like it's more of an evergreen sort of thing. That's the way I view it. It's like in the case of shoes. I used shoes back then, I use shoes right now, and I'll use shoes moving forward. Like, sometimes some products out there, some market sectors, they're just a little bit more evergreen than some other market sectors out there that could maybe go in and out of style or depending on what's cool at the time. So this is what I like about Polkadot. It feels a little bit more evergreen to me, so I'm still waiting, and that's really about it. I can't really do anything beyond that, but I'll still stay patient and I'll still make updates moving forward. So hopefully y'all will stay tuned for that. I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a very nice day. It's been Lee the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.